I love this. It's so freaking creepy. This is the whole tone scale, and it's used for like dream sequences and surreal moments. Sometimes, in film storytelling and TV, and it's really easy to do. It's like on a piano, you just basically continue playing whole notes. So when you get to this black note over here, you got to play up into the black notes and then down onto the white notes like that. Anyway, what's happening? Today's stream, I'm back. Thank you for missing me on Friday, as I'm sure you did. And if you're new to this channel, what I do is I make music. Right now I'm composing for a 2D point-and-click adventure game. This channel is for music composers, beginners mainly, who want to up their game. And what I do is I supply music templates, so like starter packs, which are self-contained, really easy to use. Check out the link in the description if you want to check out some of the free stuff that I've done. And thanks to everyone for joining. I'm seeing a pickup in subscribers, which is great. If you're interested in becoming my first patron, the link is also in the description. I would appreciate, I suppose I would sing your praises forever. Subscriber comment news. Marty Smith, not Marty Smith, that's a TV character. Anyway, somebody called Marty left a comment saying I have a very nice soothing voice and I should consider doing ASMR. So I'm going to speak in my most soothing voice today as we continue the composition for this music, for this game that I'm scoring. David, my client in this case, aka my game dev buddy, is working furiously on fleshing out all of the action in the game. The artwork looks amazing, and I've been enlisted to write music and sound effects. So let's just take a little quick tour of what has been done so far. In the past couple of weeks, I've been streaming every day. Last week, mainly just music, sort of how to package a template type, admin type of stuff for anyone who wants to make a bit of money online. Side hustle income, I can show you how to do that. Check out last week's streams. But today we're sticking with the arty stuff, which is my favorite stuff. So let's give it a listen. This is a piece called Sinister, and this is just general use for any sinister moments throughout the game. Take a listen. Okay, that kind of thing, typical low brooding stuff. Here comes romance. Heartwarming stuff. It's designed as a loop, so it can begin again there. That piece is growing on me. I'm getting a bit sentimental in my old age. Also, for those of you that aren't aware, I haven't seen for years back, I've been playing the violin for about 12 years now, 13 years. And I'm definitely going to record some violin on top of that. That is the most schmaltzy violin inviting piece that I think I might have made in recent history. Let's keep going with this tour of musical themes that I've drafted for the adventure game I'm writing. This one's called Reunion, and the idea here is characters, haven't seen each other for a while. It's going to be a bit triumphant, maybe a bit moving. This is just a piano by the sound of it, but I'll add other instruments. Bit scrappy there. Cool. And then I think that just basically repeats. Here's another option for reunion. So much fatter with the strings. This is kind of like warm, homely type thing, but to me it's not triumphant enough. If you're aiming for reunion, then I think it has to be a little bit more like excited, and this is more it's more dramatic, I suppose. Cool. Next up, we're going to the territory I consider to be my kind of weak territory, which is action music. I've never really been given a solid chance, but a commission I did last year allowed me to afford the Cinesamples Cineperk library, which is like really like an industry standard. Really big productions use it. Take a listen to some of the effects, some of the super recordings of these percussion instruments for this chase sequence. Yes, and the synth bass. I opted to use a synth bass for this one, even though the rest of the pieces we've been listening to are mostly period instruments. And then that's also just a loop. Let me loop it. Cool, so we'll figure that out. This one's called Countdown. This is for puzzle solving moments. So just a sustained snare roll basically, and a little bit of a hint of a ticking clock type of vibe. And then I've kind of gone off script here. This one's just called Fast Jazz. I just wanted to take down, this idea I had. Not quite there. Okay, it can be used, that can be used in a lot of different places. Characters, fun characters, quirky characters, whatever. All right, let's move on. So we got this one here is called Location 1. Oh, by the way, if you're trying to chat, for some reason I've got an unable to connect to chat message on the stream. So sorry if you're trying to chat. I can't actually see what you're trying to say today. So Location 1. This one is just basically this. Yes. This was just like London 1930s swinging jazz kind of vibe. That's what we're going for here. Oh yes, and now let's just shift this down one. What I'm doing is shifting the bass down one. Hopefully, there we go. That's much better, yeah. We've got two different options for bass here. My image is hiding them, but bass upright and bass synth. And bass cuba too. Let me show you what I mean. So this is the cool thing about using this approach towards music production, where you have like different layers and you can try out different instruments. So let me disappear and you'll see what I mean. So on the left here, let's label these three, give them their own color. The pink tracks are all basses, and I can shift this piece of music, which is just the bass line, between all three of these. So if I just solo these three out, let's give those three a listen, starting with the top one. That's double bass option 1. And now I'm going to move it down one to double bass option 2. Same instrument, different sound. And now we're going to go to bass synth. That's never going to work. So I use bass synth for brooding kind of the chase music, and it's actually I'm limiting the amount of synthetic instruments that I'm using in the score, because it is a period score. It's set in the 1930s, and we don't want synths and crazy layered effects coming through that weren't available at the time. It kind of breaks the spell and breaks the charm of the moment. So finally, I think this is the last one. Yes, this is called Location 2, and here I am back in the scene. Let's give it a listen. Oh yes, this is the intro idea. I'm just kind of refreshing this as I go, and then we don't need that. And this is just a stock standard 1625, just a nice easygoing jazz vibe. Okay. We could do a lot with this, like let's try and just screw around with the piano for a little bit. Which key are we in? quite cool. I like just playing like that. Cool. So that's location 2. Now, I wanted to just explain what's going on here. There's an intro section. Let's give it a listen. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll go into the start date. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. I'm just hearing that this bass actually is a lot boomier and reverbier than I would like. So I'm not sure what to do about that. We'll get back to that in the production stage. Right now we're in the composition stage. When you're writing music, you kind of have to split. It's like write drunk, edit sober. You got to come up with ideas and get all the enthusiasm onto the page when you're sort of, when you're hot, when you've got the vibe, and then later on you can come back and tweak and change and redo. But the main thing is capturing the idea. It's like ideas are just like rain. You got to just have a bucket ready, and when it happens, you just stick it out, and that's all. So it also helps knowing your software. Reaper is, I guess it's my home base now. I choose Reaper, this program, over Ableton because I find Ableton, the workflow is a lot harder to make these kinds of sophisticated projects where you got like a whole bunch of different tracks. So I use Reaper for that now. Here's 5 liters of water. As I've mentioned before, Ableton does do a lot of stuff a lot better than Reaper. But this isn't a competition. You just use one for the one. Use the best one for the job, Have a couple of tools at your disposal. All right, kids. So let's get on with it. If you just joined, my name's John. I'm writing music for a 2D point-and-click adventure game set in the 1930s. So it's got a lot of jazz. I've got a sort of jazz background. I've got a lot of backgrounds, but most recently jazz. And it's filtering through here nicely. So if you're into music production and you want to become my first patron, check out the link in the description. Or if you just want some stuff for free to try out, see what I'm up to, you can download the packs that I've got linked in the description under the free link. And yeah, let me know what you think of them. Also, if you're hanging around today, try leave me a chat. I think the chat might just not be working today. Sorry about that. But otherwise, yeah, I'm always welcome, comments and stuff while I work. Otherwise, yeah, just thanks for being here. Cool, so I'm going to get on with this now. Next step is to look at the actual workboard. So here's the workboard. Pull it up again. Maybe you saw this in previous streams. This is a whiteboard, which my client, I feel weird calling him my client. He's a client, but he's just like my dev bro. I don't know, my game dev bro. This is my GDB. My GDB has kindly put together a lot of feedback based on what I'm doing in these streams, which makes it much easier than having to bounce things out and getting it that way. And what I've opted to do is to go through and write a first draft of everything before I start to tweak individual things. So we've written first drafts of all the different characters, including, here they are, Anna, main character, Ingrid, Lord Cardigan, Victor Belmont, Colonel Bast, Harry Renfrew, Alex Marwood. Those are the characters, the leitmotifs. Now we're on to the actual moments. So I've written romance/sentimental/longing, first draft. Reunion, we've given that a bash. Tension, suspense, we've kind of got that, although it was more like spooky. But anyway, we've got something there. Chase, we've got something. Countdown, we've got something. Big arrival moments, okay? And then lastly, location music, which I've written 1 or 2 pieces for. And I'll take a look at this feedback now. I haven't actually seen it yet. And then a few sound effects moments, suspicion, embarrassing moments, and an unlocked key clue. So that's more sound effects than composition, maybe a combination of both. Okay. So I feel like this one hasn't been done yet, big arrival moments. And I also feel like these 3 sound effects haven't been done. So I feel like next step now is to simply write big arrival moments and the 3 sound effect moments, and that means we are done with the overall first draft. That's when if you're doing a sculpture, that's when you've just hacked away half the marble and now you've got this rough feature which is a human being or whatever. Haven't started any of the details yet. I'd like to get a lot more live instrumentation in here. So play guitar and violin, maybe some percussion. but mainly just working on the music and making sure that it's appropriate and does the job of making the player of the game feel a certain way at the right time. So, all of that said, let's get going on big arrival moments. This is gonna be something like that. So what I normally do now is I'll start with just a marker. So I'll call this big arrival moment. I don't think we've done one of these yet. No, we've done reunion, chase, countdown, Cool. I'm going to move fast jazz out. Let's do that later. Big arrival moment. Okay. So I'm feeling, when I hear big, my first impression is not piano, it's strings and orchestra. We've got Pirates of the Caribbean have really set the bar for us very high. So we've all got to try and make it sound absolutely massive now. So for big arrival moments, we're taking a full stretch. You can't see my entire keyboard, but I've got strings down low and I've got strings up high, and I can use the entire thing. So what I would start by doing is I'm going to just play one. I'm going to sequence one entire chord, and that chord is going to be an E. The reason it's going to be an E is because the E is the lowest note of the double bass, the contrabass. So by choosing that note, it's like the maximum lowness that you can get in a conventional orchestra. With software production, you can obviously go lower than that with synthesized basses and sub basses, but we're trying to stick with the sort of what I call compositional integrity, which is just adhering to the timeliness of the setting of this game, which is in the 1930s, and there were no synthesizers then. The tempo, it's not quite largo, which is like really slow. It's going to be something like more like adagio. So let's call it like 80 BPM, and I'm going to put the click on. Yeah, that sounds about right. So this is the click we're going with: 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay, let's just hear how that sounds. Just quantize everything. Position and note length 4. Good. Okay, there we go. So we've got that. We could even go higher than that because the violins are going to take us up to that octave. But let's just leave it like that for now and get a sense of the scale rather than the notes. Let's just go with scale. I normally start with notes and theory. Today I'm just leaning into the actual sound of the instrument itself. Okay, what we're listening to there is Forzo. I'm going to load up Forzo. Forzo is the name of a brass library, and it's a lovely sounding thing, very rich. I've been using it for this type of stuff for a while. Now what we have to do is look for the correct articulation, which looks like here it's going to be G6. G6 is going to be up here on the keyboard. There we go. There we go, cool. So first thing first, we just got to set the articulation to G6. I'm going to do that here. 3, G6, boom. Nope, looks like I hit G5 instead. So we're going to take that up an octave. That's G6, right? Yeah. No, this is G6 over here. Okay, so that means even if I set the articulation over here to clusters, when it hits this MIDI note, it's going to switch automatically to sustain. That means we are now free to write a sustain part, which I'm going to do here. This is a 12-bar passage. I'm just seeing how it goes. And this time we're just going to hold on E in the bass, just like the strings I just recorded, and I'm going to try and invert the chord that I did. So instead of oh, looks like we've got issues here. Wait. 4. Ooh, what's going on here? A6. Oh, something's wrong. It's key switching on its own. Oh, that sounds nice, eh? Alright. Let's give it a bash. I'm just gonna go 1, 2, 3, record. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. 4, 1. That's it. Okay. We'll probably extend this piece now, but like I said, I'm just leaning into the sound of these instruments rather than the composition. I want to hear how they sound just with maximum sort of, almost like Chariots of Fire. That's what we're going for here. Big arrival moments, although Chariots of Fire is certainly just triumph. It's all about triumph. But let's give this a listen now with some piano. Let's hear that piano a little bit higher, and at the same time I just want to drop the ensemble. Wait, take that ensemble, should actually be 1 down. There we go. Yeah, good. And I just want to make sure that that ensemble is not as static as it has been. So first things first, just get a mod wheel to get a little bit of a swell in here, something like that. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, and then last one, 3, 4, good. That's kind of where we're at right now. Okay, I'm gonna just extend this outwards so I can get a, there we go, cool. 2, 3, 4. A little bit of swell there, that's fine. Okay. I like this very much. What I just played there was a C major over an E, which makes it an E minor chord. Let's just brighten this piano up a little bit so we can hear, I almost said C, so we can hear what's actually going on. Hard, and then we want to take this up. Open the lid, there we go. Half open the lid, there we go. It's too mysterious, the low brooding sound, not really conducive to what I'm going for. How about we just start on the A? Thinking of bringing up the pace on this a little bit. Without turning it into a musical, I'm starting to hear this in my head. Not really appropriate. Let's try this again. Helps to have a reference track, of course. I'm not sure if David has left a reference for Big Arrival, no. But we are talking awe-inspiring, witnessing wonder of the world, the opposite of witnessing the Death Star. That's what David says here. Upon seeing the magnificent grand ocean liner. Okay, good. Arriving at Cape Town, arriving at a waterfall. Okay. I'm thinking almost like Lawrence of Arabia type thing, so it's like if you want big and majestic, you stick to the Chariots of Fire, sort of like just keep it in fifths. But there's also the, if you want big, you can also do this sort of space bigness, which is like the science fiction type thing. Yes, that's it. That's definitely the chord progression. I have found it. It is the 1 to the flat 6 major. That's the sound of awe-inspiring. And you can go down to here. Nah, let's just play it on there. Okay, good. Now we've got a chord progression, so we can lean into that a little bit. All we need is 2 chords. Dun, dun. Let's do a re-record of the E of the string part. So here goes my beautiful modulation wheel. It has gone out the window. Okay, strings should be live here. And I think I know what's happened. This one over here, yes, okay. Right now I'm navigating to the string patch, which I use, called Symphony Strings, Symphony Essentials. I'm just trying to find the sustain knob there. Oh, I've got a good feeling about this key. This is A, which means we're going to go down from an A to an F. From an A major to an F major, so... That's definitely it, yeah. Oof, I love it. Goosebumps. Oh. Stop it. Hang on. Woo! That was a Momo. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do this properly now. 2, 3, 4. It's a bit fast. I get the vibe we're going for now. I've totally got it. I've heard it. And now I'm going to take it down and share it. We're going to go to 65 BPM. There we go. Here we go. 4 bars, so 4 beats intro. Coming in A major. 4. 3, 4. I left the hold pedal on, and unfortunately I was still recording Forzo. Forzo is the drum, the brass patch which I just mentioned. I don't want it right now because I'm recording a new piece. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Okay, it was about to start looping, but that's the right direction. Let's keep going with that. And I also still feel it's a bit too fast. We're gonna really play into the epicness of this with some serious slowness. So here we go. 2, 3, 4. Can hear okay, I feel like we need to just keep that going. Also, that one sustained key, this one here, the actual root note, I think we should delete that. Just get it dancing around the root note. This is quite a cool technique. I get really excited when I hear about this. I just want to demonstrate it real quick. Okay. Let's say we're in A major, like we are here. Okay, so what I've got is the keys A in the bass, E, A, and C sharp. These are the 3 chords, 3 notes of the A major triad. Now, I can keep the A in the bass, but I'm going to take it out of the top and just have the shell. So it's the E and the C sharp. If you just have that shell, it implies something. It implies that this note exists. It implies it by surrounding it. So it gives you context, and your brain finds like so much joy in filling in those gaps. Same with film and storytelling. You don't have to demonstrate. For example, Reservoir Dogs, the film Reservoir Dogs, is about a burglary gone wrong, a heist gone wrong. At no point in the entire film do you actually see the heist. It's just all implied, and your brain takes great pleasure in filling in those gaps. And the creative decision to edit out the juice of the story. It's like editing out all the sex scenes, in TV show. It's like leaving money on the table, basically. It feels like that. But it's satisfying on a deeper level than just being explicit and being overt. So all of that, just my little excitement about how to create this kind of allure by leaving out the obvious and just contextualizing it with the secondary, Hope that makes sense. We're getting into the philosophy here. Really, I just want to be, doing this all day, every day. I get an hour a day, but I hope you guys can tell how much I love this stuff. Okay. If you're new to the channel or you've just joined, feel free to drop a comment. Comment may not be working today, but also check out the stuff I've got in the YouTube description. It's a link to a free bundle that I'm working on. It's like all the stuff that I want people to use in their own productions. And then I give away a lot of music. Like most of my tracks are basically just Creative Commons. So if you make videos for YouTube and you see something on my channel you like, go ahead and download it, credit me, give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. If you feel like becoming my first patron, check out the link in the description, $6 a month, and you get access to all of the music templates that I've made so far. And when I say templates, I actually mean songs. Like, they're not just empty shells of Ableton projects, they're actually full finished productions using only default samples and default VSTs, so no missing samples, no dependencies, just easy to load, drag them into your DAW and get going on it. So I hope you really dig the stuff that I'm doing. Obviously every streamer like me hopes you dig the stuff they're doing. Let's get back to it. 3, 4. Much better without that main A. Okay, now we're going to keep it on that. That's a nice... We're going to bring in a secondary... Here, we're going to take this down. Okay. Something's bugging out there. That's fine. Cool. Let's join those two together. It's about halfway through the stream. Got another 30 minutes to go. Just give me a sec, I'll be right back. Well, things were just getting a little bit dramatic there, and I've just been called by my wife, who's got some sort of mini emergency happening. Our little boy's a bit sick today, so sorry I cannot continue the stream right now. Apologies, I'm dropping out a bit early. I can't wait to come back tomorrow and continue on this piece, the big arrival moment for the game that I'm scoring. But for now, sorry I got to bail. Thanks for stopping by, and check the link in the description if you're into Ableton Live templates and Reaper templates for your own productions. Cool dudes.